youth is gradually blossoming. And second, his youth reaches to such a stage where he has not become a fully grown youth, but he's still a Kaishor, means in his teenage years. So this stage of Krishna, this Vayosandhi, is when he's at this juncture, when he's at this part between being a fully grown youth and between being a teenager. This is his eternal form. And this form is always present in Braj as a Kaishor. And when he is in his fully expressed youth, like Vyakta Kaishor, then he is the king of Dwaraka. That way he has 16,108 queens. So this form is not so beautiful as much as the form with which he is present here in Braj. Why? Because we see in Dwaraka when Brahma he built this city, Navrindavan, because Krishna was feeling so much separation. And when he built this Navrindavan, there Krishna, when he saw the deity of Radharani, Yashoda, when he saw the forest of Braj there, which had been built by Vishwakarma, then Krishna forgot he was Dwarkadish. Then he thought that he was Nandanandan, Yashodanandan. And then he ran towards Srimati Radhika, trying to embrace her. Now he was absorbed in the mood of a coward boy. So when he ran towards Srimati Radhika, then even Krishna's queens, like Rukmini, Satyabhama, they were thinking that although Krishna has been with us for so many years, although he's Dwarkadish, the king of kings, and although he's so beautiful, still now this form of his that we are seeing by our own eyes, that we are witnessing, this form as Gopal, Rajagopal, Kishore Krishna. This form of his that we are seeing, this very form he was always present in Vrindavan. This form is unprecedented. We have never seen such a form before. Therefore, Rukmini Devi, she had this desire. She told Krishna that, can you please make a deity of your Vrindavan form? Then Krishna said, why my Vrindavan form? I am always present in front of you as Dwarkadish. Why as Gopal? She says, I want to worship you as Gopal, because this form is stealing my heart. Then Krishna, he made his own deity of Gopal, and he gave to Rukmini. And it was this deity of Gopal that Madhvacharya worshipped in Udupi. It was this deity that was brought from Dwaraka. Because this deity, when Dwaraka was inundated by the ocean, this deity was placed in Gopi Talab. That is the place where the food dust of the gopis was stored in that place. So then, by Krishna's own desire, his deity was covered by the food dust of the gopis, his Gopi Chandan. And then when Dwaraka was inundated, anyhow this Gopi Chandan was taken by the people there, and as it was being brought to Udupi, then we know that the ship got stuck. It got stuck in the sand, and Madhvacharya with one push, he pushed the ship. And then the captain of the ship was so happy with him, he gave him this huge block of Gopi Chandan. And then as he was carrying this Gopi Chandan, the Chandan broke. And then from one part, Baldev Prabhu appeared, and from the other part, this Gopal form appeared. So this Gopal was worshipped by Rukmini Devi herself. So even she desires to see Krishna in his Vrindavan form. And we see Sita Devi. She also desires to worship Ram in his form as Krishna. What is the proof, the evidence? This Kirchor Gopinath. This Gopinath form in Ramuna was actually manifested by Sri Ramchandra himself. Because Sita, she desired to see this form of Ram as Krishna. Then one may think, how is this possible? Because the pastimes of Sita and Ram took place in Treta Yuga. And Krishna's pastimes took place in Dwapar. So Krishna came after Ram. So how is it that Sita knew already that Ram had appeared as Krishna? How is this possible? Because there is a cycle. Satya, Treta, Dwapar, Kali is always a cycle. It's going on continuously. And actually in this age, it is said that Dwapar Yuga was supposed to appear before Treta Yuga. This is the cycle. It is said first is Satya, then Dwapar, then Treta, then Kali. But in this Yuga, Treta appeared before Dwapar. Why? Because Ahilya was cursed to become a stone by Gautam Rishi. He was very unhappy with her because Indra came and polluted her. So he said, how can you be unchaste? And she said, what is my fault? He appeared as in your form. So then she asked her husband, how can I be delivered from this form as a stone? Then he said, only when Ramchandra appears and he touches you with his feet, then you will be liberated. But she said, Ram is going to appear like after so many thousands of years. Then Gautam Rishi said, no. In this cycle, this Chatur Yuga, the 4 yugas together constitute a Chatur Yuga. So in this cycle, Ram, he will appear like in this Yuga, Treta, and then Krishna appeared. So therefore Ram appeared in Treta and then Krishna came into Dwapar. So in this cycle, Sita Devi had only heard about Krishna's appearance. She had only heard about how he performed all his leelas, some of these things. Therefore, it's an anarpita charim chira. What is the meaning of anarpita charim chira? That this prem had not been given for a long time. It doesn't mean that this prem was never given. No. This prem had been given, but like a long time back. So she desired to see this form of Krishna. Then Ram, he made this deity of Gopinath especially. And then he showed this form to Sita. And then this deity is being worshipped to this present day. So you see, even Rukmini, Sita, they all wish to see this form of Krishna. And who relishes this beauty of Krishna to the topmost degree is Radharani herself, Rup Madhuri. So here it is saying that he appeared with a greed to taste his own Rup Madhuri, that as Radharani wishes to taste. And what is the second sweetness? The second Madhuri? After Rup Madhuri? Venu Madhuri. You see the sweetness of his flute. Now, when Krishna plays his flute, he has to describe in Jayavadharma. But when he calls the gopis, then he uses flute Venu. He uses Venu flute to call them. Therefore, the gopis, when they spoke in separation from Krishna, their words of separation is called Venu Geet. Not Vamsi Geet or Murali Geet. It is called Venu Geet. Because in their trance, they were envisioning all the pastimes of Krishna while they were sitting in their homes. Like when Krishna went cowherding, then the gopis were seeing by their own trance how Krishna is playing with all the sakhas, how the deer are coming and seeing Krishna from a distance and worshipping Krishna from the corner of their eyes, how the clouds are coming and giving shelter to Krishna, how the Yamuna is coming with flowers, offering them at the feet of Krishna. All these things are seen by their eyes, Bhavnetra. So this is called Venu Geet. So Radharani, especially, she listens to the notes of Krishna. When Radharani came to Kurukshetra, what did she tell Krishna? She told Krishna that I wish that you come back to Vrindavan. I cannot see you here. Because here you are with all your children, 10 sons, 1 daughter, you are surrounded by your army, by your friends, by your relatives. But in Vrindavan, I wish to see you standing underneath the Kadamba tree, playing on the 5th note of your flute. So kindly come back. This is called Venu Madhuri. So Radharani, she relishes this Venu Madhuri more than anyone else. The sweetness of Krishna's flute playing. And what is the third? Leela Madhuri. See, there's Rup Madhuri, Venu Madhuri, and Leela Madhuri. Leela Madhuri is the sweetness of Krishna's pastimes. The pastimes that Krishna performed in Braj, he did not perform anywhere else. Not even in Mathura, not even in Dwarka. Only in Braj he performed these leelas. Very heart-rending pastimes. Very, like we see, has Krishna ever performed Ras Leela with the queens of Dwarka on the bank of the ocean? Has it been ever said that he performed like this Ras Leela with all the queens there on the bank of the ocean? Never. Has it been said that Krishna performed Ras Leela with Kubja and Mathura? Never. With the queens of Mathura, princesses? Never. Only here in Braj, he performed this Ras Leela. And this Ras Leela is called Chakravarti Leela. Chakravarti Leela means what? It is the king of all pastimes. This Ras Leela includes all the other Leelas that you can possibly imagine. For those aspiring to be Madhurya Bhav, Madhurya Ras. All the Leelas, beginning from top to bottom, are present in this Ras Leela. And through this Ras Leela, Krishna is giving greed to all the sadhakas. That anyone who listens to this description of the Ras Leela, you can also be a part of this Ras Leela. You can also serve Radharani in this Ras Leela. Swami Maharaj said, what is the goal of this Krishna consciousness movement? The goal of this Krishna consciousness movement is to join the dancing party of Radha and Krishna. This is the goal of ISKCON, he said. I have established ISKCON only for this one purpose. What is that? That we join this dancing party of Radha and Krishna. That we also take part in this most enchanting dance, this Ras Leela, Chakravarti Leela. So this is Leela Madhuri. His Leela Madhuri culminates in this Ras Leela. Like normally we hear many descriptions of Krishna in his different pastimes of Braj. He's stealing butter, he's stealing the clothes of the gopis, he's playing with his sakhas, and he's doing so many things. But what are the culmination? What is the culmination of those leelas? The culmination of those pastimes is the Ras Leela. This is the very essence of his sweetness, his pastime. This is Leela Madhuri. Then comes Prem Madhuri, the sweetness of his love. Also sometimes Guna Madhuri, it is said. His qualities, the sweetness of his prem. So Radharani, she relishes all these sweetnesses of Krishna to a supreme degree. So therefore Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he appeared with the bhav and kanti of Srimati Radhika. So here it is said. So Gurudev is saying these are the three reasons that Mahaprabhu appeared. First, he was controlled by his Karuna Shakti. Second, he came to give his own Swabhakti, supremely radiant devotion. And third is he appeared with a greed to taste his own variegated sweetness, as relished by Srimati Radhika. And then we see here, Gurudev is saying there are 8 unprecedented distinctions of Gaur Hari's compassion. Means he's saying there are 8 unique specialities of Mahaprabhu's mercy. And what are those 8 specialities? He's saying here. No other incarnation bestowed bhakti upon all. As previously stated, the reason Bhagavan accepts unlimited incarnations is to protect devotees, annihilate demons, and establish true religion. According to scriptures such as Srimad Bhagavatam, even the unfathomably deep and shoreless oceans are unable to properly bear even one bodily hair of any of those influential incarnations like Matsya, Kurma and Varaha. Yet there is no possibility of these incarnations bestowing bhakti. So see here what Gurudev is saying. He's saying Matsya, Kurma and Varaha, they are so gigantic in form that if you combine all the oceans of all the universes, they will not be able to bathe even one single pore of their skin. He's saying. This is the nature of their opulence. He's saying all the deep and shoreless oceans which you cannot even imagine. Different kinds of oceans. There's a salty ocean, there's a milk ocean, there's the ocean made of yogurt, there's the ocean made of sugarcane juice, there's the ocean made of honey, the ocean made of ghee. So many different kinds of oceans. You combine all of them together. Still they're unable to properly bathe even one bodily hair of these incarnations. But still, although these incarnations are so great, there is no possibility of these incarnations ever bestowing bhakti. They can give mukti, but not bhakti. Here bhakti means what kind of bhakti? Ragmayi bhakti. They can give Vaikuntiya bhakti, but not Ragmayi bhakti here. They cannot give this bhakti ras. No. Varaha, Kurma, what will they do? They will take all our anarthas out. And they will make our hearts ready to accept this bhakti ras. But they cannot give this bhakti that Mahaprabhu is giving. And avatars such as Narsimha, Vaman and Parshuram, they remain exclusively confined to the specific purpose of their respective advents. So Narsimha, why did he appear? To kill Hiranyakashipu, protect Prahlad. Vaman, why did he appear? To give his blessings to Kali Maharaj. And then he had no other purpose. Parshuram, why did he appear? He appeared to kill 21 generations of the Kshatriyas who had turned against Dharma. Because who is the Kshatriya? Kshatriya is a warrior whose duty is to protect Dharma at all costs. This is the Kshatriya. So when they weren't following their duty, then Parshuram, what did he do? He annihilated 21 generations. So, but you see here, as soon as their purpose was finished, then they all disappeared. It means they became unmanifest. Avatars such as Kapil and Tatutraya, they only instructed Sankhya Yoga, the yoga of analytical study of material elements. And the description of bestowing bhakti is not to be found in avatars like Buddha. So Buddha, he didn't give bhakti. In fact, Buddha, he made everyone atheistic. Buddha, he did this. Now you see, Buddhism, as you know, is atheism. They don't believe in anything. So of all the avatars, only Ramchandra and Krishna Chandra attracted all living entities. So Ram and Krishna, by their leelas, they attracted everyone. Ram, his leelas are filled with so much like transcendental sadness. Anyone who listens to Ram leelas is bound to weep. Ram, just see how much he suffered in his entire life. Not like conditioned soul, but still. First he was separated from his father, separated from his wife. Then again he got his wife back, then again he was separated from her. So many things. Anyone who listens to Ram Leela is bound to have his heart melt. And Krishna Chandra, his Leelas. Still, in regard to bestowing bhakti, they did not exhibit particular magnanimity, even to their own close associates. Even Ram and Krishna, they did not freely give themselves to their associates. No. Have you ever heard of Ram and Hanuman sitting on the same bed together, in the same chair together? Never. No. Ram and Hanuman, you see, like fighting with each other, wrestling with each other. Have you ever seen this? Or Hanuman giving his remnants from his own mouth and putting in Ram? It is never. But you've seen Krishna and his sakhas, when they're playing, they're wrestling with each other, they're giving their own remnants to each other. They're even abusing each other. No. They're even calling Krishna so many kinds of names. But have you ever seen like Hanuman doing this to Ram? Never. They always maintained very respectful distance from him. Hanuman Sugree. No. This is called Gauravamai Sakya. There is Vishramba Sakya and Gauravamai Sakya. So Vishramba Sakya is that friendship which is unrestrained. which is very intimate. But Gauravamai Sakya is that kind of friendship which is predominated by a mood of opulence, by a mood of deep respect. So Sugriv and Hanuman, they had this Gauravamai Sakya. In fact, Hanuman had Dasaras, he did not even have Sakya. Sugriv and Vibhishan, they had some Sakya towards Ram. No. But that Sakya was inhibited by what? It was inhibited by their respect for Ram. Even though they had friendship towards Ram, still they knew that he is like my Lord, he is my Prabhu. And they always worshipped him in such a way. Like you see, even Sita Devi, once there was a thorn got stuck in her foot. Then what happened? She sat down in a place and Ram said, what happened? And she said, oh, a thorn has pricked my foot. So then Ram said, all right, you sit here, you take this stick, these two like pieces of stick, and you can use that to remove the thorn. But Ram himself did not remove the thorn from Sita Devi's foot. No. Here we see in Seva Kunj, Krishna is falling at the feet of Srimati Radhika. In fact, he's painting her feet with altar, with his red lac. And sometimes he's offering his head at the feet of Radharani in Seva Kunj. But did Ram ever do this to Sita? In fact, Ram, he waited until Sita took this thorn out and then he started walking again. Like we see, Sita Devi, Ram even left Sita Devi. But still, Sita Devi, she said, the king may have left the queen, but my Prabhu has not left me. So still, Sita had to tolerate so much separation because of Ram's adherence to Maryada. Because he was Maryada Purushottam. He never compromised with this Maryada. With his own dignity, with his own etiquette, nothing. So much so that he even sacrificed Sita Devi just so he could be one-pointed in his adherence to Maryada. This is Maryada Purushottam. But Krishna is Leela Purushottam. But still, even Krishna himself did not freely give himself to his associates. Even though Krishna, it seems, is more magnanimous than Ram, Krishna himself did not give himself freely. Even he was restrained. Even he did not give. Sri Ramchandra, he proposed the benedictions of Bhoga and Moksha to associates such as Lomash Rishi, Sharvanga, Sutikshna, the rishis of Dandakaranya, and even Kakpushandi. In this way, he kept Rag Bhakti concealed. How? Even when Ramchandra appeared to the Dandakaranya rishis, the Dandakaranya rishis said, we want to accept you as our beloved. Ram said, no, I only have one wife, that is Sita. I cannot accept anyone else. I make Patmadhari. So then he said, in my next incarnation as Krishna, then all of you can be my beloveds, but not in this incarnation. So Sri Ramchandra is Maryada Purushottam, the incarnation of the Lord who establishes the rules of proper religious etiquette and conduct. It can therefore be understood that for him to conceal bhakti is actually appropriate. For by his withholding the bestowal of that bhakti, the etiquette of religious principles was not transgressed. So here Gurudev is saying Ram is Maryada Purushottam, so it is appropriate for him to not give Rag Bhakti. It is like natural. But why didn't Krishna give? Krishna could have given, here Gurudev is saying, Krishna is Leela Purushottam. He is relishing these newer and newer pastimes every moment. So he even transgressed Maryada. No, Krishna even, you see, he loved the wives of other men, apparently. These wives are apparently the wives of other men. He stole clothes of the gopis. He stole butter from the homes of others. He spoke lies. Did Ram ever speak lies? Never. But Krishna, he spoke lies. He did so many things. So he could have also given this, but still, he also concealed as such Saubhakti to him. Even he did not give. Krishna also. But you see, here, Gaurhari, he gives prem freely to everyone without considering any qualification. Krishna jadi chute bhakti, bhukti mukti diya. Kabu prema bhakti na ten raken lukaiya. Sri Krishna immediately delivers liberation or worldly sense pleasure according to the devotee's desires. But he does not easily give pure prema bhakti. Indeed, that he keeps hidden. So if anyone desires mukti or anyone desires bhukti, then he will give all of them. But he will not give prema bhakti. This he keeps hidden within himself. He will not give. But Gaurhari, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he gives prema without considering anyone's qualification. In this way, in all his forms, the Lord who can make the impossible possible keeps his bhakti hidden, even from those who worship him. However, in his form of Sri Gauranga, in order to inundate all jivas with bhakti ras, via his instructions, touch, glance and inspiration. So he's here, he's giving his bhakti ras 4 ways. Through his instructions, through his touch, through his glance and through his inspiration. Inspiration means what? Through his pure devotees. through the Goswamis, through the Ashtakavirājas, Choshaki Mant, Dadash Gopals. He's inspiring them. He's acting through his associates and he's giving this prema to everyone. There's a Leela, no? Nakul Brahmachari, Mahaprabhu would manifest through Nakul Brahmachari, he would manifest in this form and he'd give prema bhakti to everyone. He accepted sannyas, the renounced order, and he traveled everywhere. And he also sent his associates throughout the land as his representatives, manifesting deities and devotional scriptures through them. Mahaprabhu himself went all over India preaching, and he also sent his associates everywhere. He sent Nityananda Prabhu all over Bengal with the Dadash Gopals. He said, all of you go and preach everywhere in Bengal, especially to those who are from lower caste, who have been neglected by society. You go there. So they went everywhere. No, and he also sent the Goswamis here to Braj, to Vrindavan. He said, go and write books. You manifest these deities. You construct temples. You push forward this movement of bhakti. So through all of them, he preached everywhere. Thus, he freely and generously with both hands distributed pure love for his holy name. So Mahaprabhu is given this holy name to everyone freely. Even to those who don't have qualification, he gave them qualification and he empowered them. So, this is indeed true. But here you see, Rupa Goswami has quoted a verse in his Laghu Bhagavatamrita, where it is said that apart from Krishna, who can bestow prem upon surrendered souls? So this is true. But according to the Gita verse, Ye yatamam prapadyante, in whichever way a person surrenders to me, I reciprocate with him accordingly. So Krishna is saying, I give prema bhakti, but only to those who have surrendered to me. He said, no, what is the criteria? Sarvadharmam parityaja. He said, who has surrendered to me, only to that person I give prema bhakti. But Mahaprabhu, he has not even said this. Mahaprabhu didn't tell anyone that you surrender to me. Nothing. Anyone who came in front of him, immediately he inundated, he gave him prayer. He didn't even ask for any surrender, nothing. Shri Krishna, he bestows bhakti in proportion to one's faith and qualification. Neither less nor more, but the exact proportion only. So if you ask for this much prayer, he will give you this much prayer. If he will not give more, he will not give less. It is a fact that Krishna's name is supremely magnanimous and merciful. In the past, present and future, if his name is chanted to indicate something else, or even jokingly, or even with hate, or even disrespectfully, still his name has delivered, is delivering, and will continue to deliver even those who chant the semblance of the name. Namabhas. So you see, even sometimes you see, someone they may say, oh, Krishna, Krishna this, and criticize Krishna and this, that. But still his name will deliver one. This is the nature of his name. No. Like one Swami Maharaj, he was preaching in Australia. There, the devotees, they gave him 2 articles from the newspaper. In one newspaper, one editor, he had written an article in which he had glorified Swami Maharaj so much. And in another newspaper, an editor, he had written an article in which he had criticized Swami Maharaj so much. He had criticized. So then, Swami Maharaj, he asked his disciple, in which article has the name Krishna been used more? So then the disciple said, in the article in which he has criticized him. He said, oh, these Hare Krishnas are like this, they are like this, Hare Krishnas are like this, Hare Krishnas are like that, and we criticizing him. And in the other article, he has glorified you, but he has not written the name Hare Krishna so much. So then Swami Maharaj said, I like the article in which he has criticized me more. At least in there, he has mentioned this Hare Krishna name. So this is when they are reading that article, they are reading Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, and they are getting purified. No. But in this other article, he has glorified me, but he has not written anything about Hare Krishna. And what was the use of reading this article, he said. At least the other one, he has criticized me, but he has mentioned the name there. No. So this is the nature of Krishna's name. And even if one criticizes Krishna through his name, anything, still he is getting benefited. But still here you see the criteria. In the chanting of Krishna Nam, offences are seriously considered. For this reason only, an offender, he does not experience any spiritual transformation while chanting. No? So when we are chanting, technically our heart should be melting, we should be weeping, we should be rolling on the ground. But we don't see any of this happening. Why? Because Vajrale, because our hearts are covered by this offense. No? But here you see, but in contrast, we find this verse in relation to the sacred name of God. Chaitanya Nityanande nahi isab vichar, naam hoite prem den bahi ashudhar. In regard to chanting the names of Chaitanya Nityananda Prabhu, such considerations do not exist. Rather, these names bestow prem upon the chanter, and tears of pure love cascade from his eyes. Not only this, Emon Dayala Prabhu Nahi Tribhuvane, Krishna Prem Janma Jar Dur Darshane. In these three worlds, there is no master as merciful as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. By his mere audience, Krishna Prem awakens. So you see here, if you chant Gaura Nitai's names, then automatically your eyes will start melting. Your hearts will start melting and eyes will start showering tears. Automatically. This is the nature of his name. This is the nature of Mahaprabhu. So Sri Gaurhari, he surrendered to his mercy potency. In the matter of bestowing Prem, Mahaprabhu's Karuna, his compassionate mercy, did not consider who was deserving and who was not. There was no consideration. Anyone who came in front of Mahaprabhu, even Jagai and Madai, there was no such sin that they had not committed. Everything, top to bottom, they had done. But still you see, when they fell at the feet of Mahaprabhu and they took shelter of Mahaprabhu, Mahaprabhu gave Prem to them, to Jagai and Madai. You see Gopal Chapal, he did so many things. He used to keep meat outside Srivas Thakur's house, alcohol, he would do so many things, eat meat himself. But still when he fell at the feet of Mahaprabhu, Mahaprabhu forgave him and he gave him Prem. So many sinners, so many offenders, they all got swept away by this current of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Prem. So many of them. No. And even to this day we are seeing. When Swami Maharaj went to the west, you see there so many people were eating meat, they were drinking alcohol, they were doing so many things. But just by the mere kirtan of Swami Maharaj, just by seeing him, just by listening to his kirtan, by listening to his harikatha, so many got changed. No. So many started putting tilak on, kanthi, dhoti, kurta, they started chanting. So Mahaprabhu, he surrendered to his Karuna Shakti. And considering all to be deserving, she immediately granted Prem to whomever she came across. So here you see Gurudev is using this feminine tense, she, his Karuna Shakti. She saw that everyone was deserving. She did not think that this person is undeserving, this person is deserving. She saw that everyone is deserving. Everyone truly deserves this Prem. And she gave this Prem to everyone. And filled them with the nectar of Prem. So what is this Unnatujjala Sobhakti? What is this nature of Mahaprabhu's Prem that he came to give to this world? It is his own brilliantly radiant service mood in the highest mellow of amorous love. It is extremely difficult to obtain even for the Lord's dearmost associates like Narada. What to speak of Sadhak Bhaktas? Once Gurudev was giving class and he was saying that those who are greedy for this Prem, they are even more fortunate than Uddhav. They are even more fortunate than Brahma. Why? Because Uddhav, his thigh bob is fixed. He cannot be like the gopis because his Sarup is already fixed. Therefore, he is still present near Kusum Sarovar and he is still hoping to get the foot dust of Radharani's feet, the gopis' feet, and they are going to make Krishna and Radha Kund. He is still present there in Uddhav Kund. But still, has he gotten or not, there is no guarantee. Because his Sarup is already fixed. But the Jivas, you see, their Sarup is not yet been fixed. This stage is called Swachharati. Means the Sarup has not yet been realized in their hearts. No. But in Uddhav's case, his Sarup has already been realized. But the Jivas, once his Unnatoja Ras Sobhakti Shriyam is showered upon them, then the Sarup which is inherently present in their hearts, that will manifest. Like Gurudev gives an example that the entire tree is present in the seed. All the seed needs is proper water, proper sunlight, proper fertilizers, and proper soil, fertile soil. And then the seed will germinate, sprout, and the tree will manifest. The entire tree is present in the soul, in the seed. Similarly, our Sarup, everything is present in the soul, in the seed-like form. But still, we need this Gaurras to be showered upon us. And what is this Gaurras? This Gaurras is Gaur Katha, Gaur Kirtan. This Kirtan, this Katha, this Sadhu Sang, Gaur Bhaktas, their association. And when their association is had, then our Sarup will gradually manifest. So this is Unnatoja Ras is so difficult for even Narada to attain. Therefore, Narada is present there in Narad Kund. In front of Kusum Sarovar, he is performing austerities. Uddhav is doing austerities. Brahma is doing austerities in Barsana with his four heads. He wants Radharani to play on his four heads, and therefore he's become the four Parvats there. Dangad, Mangad, Premgad, Vilasgad. Shivji is present as Nandishwar Hill, and he is also hoping to get Krishna's foot dust on his head. And Vishnu is present in Barsana, hoping to get the foot dust of Srimati Radhika, Vishnu Parvat. So you see here, they're all performing austerities. But the Jivas are so much more fortunate than even Brahma, Shiva, Vishnu, Uddhava and Narada. How? If they just take shelter of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, then that gift of Prem, which even Brahma, Vishnu and Narada have not received still, that the Jivas can achieve very quickly. In a few births. In just a few births they can receive this Prem that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to give. See how fortunate the Jivas are, how fortunate we are. The in one sense. However, when Sri Gaur's Karuna extended herself without any obstruction, fully retaining her independence. So you see here, Gurudev is saying that Gaur's Karuna Shakti, she was independent. She was even independent from Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. In the sense, Mahaprabhu could not control her. Saying, oh, don't give prema to this person, he's so undeserving, unqualified. No, she was completely independent of him. She said, anyone who I see, anyone who I come across, you cannot say that don't give to him, you can give to him, no. Anyone who I come across, I'll give this prema. Anyone, whoever they may be. Bhakti is like that. Bhakti Devi, she doesn't think of anyone's qualification. She will appear in anyone's. Like we see Bilamangal Thakur, in one way, he was attached to Chintamani, who used to sell, who was like a prostitute. And Bilamangal Thakur, it seemed he was very lusty externally, but still you see he's glorified as one of the greatest devotees of Radha and Krishna. So where was his qualification then? Where was his qualification? He gave up his Brahminical status. He was a very nice Brahmin and everything, but he gave everything up. So where was his qualification? But still here you see, is Krishna Karnamrit, Mahaprabhu himself used to listen. Bhakti Devi can appear in anyone. There is no consideration that Bhakti Devi will only appear in one who has very good qualities, who has this, who has that. She can appear even in the most fallen person, she can appear. She is independent. So Mahaprabhu, he gave full freedom to his Karuna Shakti, telling her, oh Karuna Shakti, I surrender unto you. In whichever direction you choose, however far you want to go, and to whatever place you want to travel, drown everyone. The offenders, the antagonists, the neutral, the faithful, the faithless, the ordinary devotees, and the special devotees, drown everyone in the flood of prema. Mahaprabhu told his Karuna Shakti. Wherever you go, just go everywhere. Like we see if there's a flood, when a flood is like going, breaking all barriers, then the flood will not think, oh, I must not take this person in my water. Everyone will be swept across in this flood. Everyone. No. There's no consideration. Similarly, this is a flood of Mahaprabhu's prema, Gaur prema. Everyone is being swept along by this current. In this flood of prema, first the hills of Kulya. So when this huge flood came, then these hills of Kulya Gram. Means who are these hills? The blasphemous students of Navadvip. So what is the meaning of hills? Means they're very proud of their scholarship. And these are the very students who wanted to beat Mahaprabhu. No, when Mahaprabhu was chanting Gopi, 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 then these students came and told Mahaprabhu, why are you chanting the names of the Gopis? Chant Krishna's names. Then Mahaprabhu said, oh, I won't chant the name of that cheater Krishna. And then he chased them away with a stick. And then these students, they were thinking, oh, Nimai, he has become very haughty now. He has become very proud. Now we'll teach him a good lesson. They wanted to beat Mahaprabhu. And Mahaprabhu thought, just see, I've come for their benefit and now they want to beat me. And if they beat me, they'll go to hell. So then Mahaprabhu took sannyas. Alright, if I've taken sannyas, at least then they'll respect me. So when Mahaprabhu initiated this great flood of his Karuna Shakti, then this Karuna Shakti rose so high that even all the hills of this Kulya, means all these very proud students, even they were submerged in this flood of prema. Then the valley of Nilachal was also submerged. So what is the valley of Nilachal? That was where Sarvam Bhattacharya used to stay. He was an Advaitavadi. But even he was swept along in this current of prema. And last, the highest peaks of the mountains of Kashi. So you see here, the highest peaks of the mountains of Kashi means this, who is that? The Advaitavadi, Prakashananda Saraswati and his 60,000 disciples. They were also drowned in this Gaur prema. So they were like these high peaks. The ocean could not possibly rise and touch these high peaks. But still, the ocean of Mahaprabhu rose and also submerged these peaks. Means even they were swept along. Even Prakashananda Saraswati, they all received this prema, Krishna prema. So Sri Gaur's tender compassion has such unparalleled sweetness, such astonishing gaiety, such uncomparable magnanimity, and such unprecedented distinction that it is not seen even in Leela Purushottam Krishna, who can also bestow prema. Did Krishna ever do this? Krishna would kill anyone. Like you see, Paundrak Vasudeva, he manifested 2 arms extra out of wood. And he told Krishna that you are not the original Vasudeva, I am the original Vasudeva. And what did Krishna do? He took his Sudarshan Chakra, cut his head off. And there was his friend, the king of Kashi, he cut his head off. Shishupal, Krishna gave him 100 chances, but still he cut his head off. He cut the head off Salva, Tantavakra. Anyone who was not conducive to Krishna, he cut his head off. Now, but did Mahaprabhu ever cut anyone's head? No. Did Mahaprabhu do this? Never. In fact, he killed the demoniac mentalities, but he didn't kill anyone. But Krishna, anyone whom he didn't like, But each of Bhagavan's other incarnations that he exhibits in this world maintains the same particular form from the beginning of that incarnation's advent until the end. So here, Gurudev is saying, only the original Lord can exhibit all other forms of Godhead. So this is another characteristic of Mahaprabhu's advent. So he's saying that when Ram appeared, Ram did not show his form as Krishna or as Varaha or as Nrsimha to anyone. He didn't show. He just maintained his form as Ramchandra throughout the course of his leelas. Similarly, Nrsimhadev, he did not show any other form. Matsya, Varaha, Kurma, they did not show any other form. Only when he appeared as Krishna did he reveal other forms. He showed his four-armed form to Devaki and Vasudeva. Now when Devaki and Vasudeva were in prison, then Krishna first he appeared as Chaturbuj Narayana. So he showed his form as Narayana. And also to the gopis. When the gopis were feeling so much separation, then near Govardhan there is this place, Petagaon. So there Krishna he appeared as Vishnu to the gopis. And he also showed his universal form to Arjuna. And also his form as Sri Ram to Hanuman in Dwaraka. So we know that Leela, once Krishna sent Garuda to fetch Hanuman from this Kimpureshwar to Dwaraka. But Hanuman said, no, only if Ram will call me, then I will come. Then Krishna, he appeared as Ram, Rukmini appeared as Sita, and then Hanuman, he had his darshan. So this is possible for Krishna because he is Swayam Bhagavan, he is Avatari. All of the incarnations, they emanate from Krishna. So he can manifest other forms. But this is possible for Krishna because he has no other source other than himself. But other avatars such as Matsya, Kurma, Varaha, Nrsimha and even Sri Ramchandra, they did not at any point manifest a form other than their own. Means they only manifested their soul. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, however, showed devotees the particular form of Bhagavan that they cherished. And he did this before everyone present. So any form of Bhagavan that they wanted to see, Mahaprabhu displayed. In the Saprari above, for 21 hours, Mahaprabhu showed all different forms of Godhead. He showed his form as Ram, he showed his form as Krishna, as Varaha, as Nrsimha, so many different kinds of forms. He showed his Nrsimha form to Srivas Thakur and to Nrsimhananda Brahmachari. Now once Srivas was very scared that the Muslims might come and attack him. He said, don't worry, I'm always present, protecting you. So he showed his Nrsimha form to Srivas and Nrsimhananda Brahmachari. Also his form as Sri Ramchandra to Murari Gupta. He manifested his form as Varahadev. He manifested his four-armed form, six-handed form, even eight-armed form. And he also manifested his form as Sri Krishna holding a flute to others. You see, this is Vamsidhari Mahaprabhu. If you go to Gopinath Mandir, as soon as you enter the Gopinath temple, on the left, you can have darshan of this deity, where Mahaprabhu is playing on his flute. So he even showed his form as Krishna. And also he showed his form as Rasaraj Mahabhav. He even showed his form as the combined incarnation of Radharani and Krishna to Raya Ramananda. So, along with the fact that he is directly Swayam Bhagavan, this attribute establishes his prominence among all of his other incarnations. So, just as Krishna showed his all other forms to the devotees, similarly Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also showed all of the different forms of God to all other devotees. Only Krishna and Mahaprabhu did this. No one else did this. In all of Bhagavan's other incarnations, Bhagavan, he protected the saintly devotees and they experienced his tender compassion. But you see, although Krishna gave so much preference to the devotees, still you see, in those incarnations, Bhagavan annihilated the demons and granted them a spiritual destination. Thus he is known as Hatari Gati Dayaka. He who bestows a special spiritual destination upon those demoniac persons he kills. So here Gurudev is saying all those demons that Krishna killed, they did not realize his mercy in their present life. They realized his mercy only after they gave up their bodies. Only Kaliya, that was the only exception. Only Kaliya, Krishna punished him so much that he realized Krishna's mercy and he went far away. But all the other demons, they realized Krishna's mercy only after he killed them. Only when he sent them back home, back to Godhead, then they realized his mercy. But still, Krishna, he not only gave liberation to the demons he slayed, but he even granted liberation to those who were killed by his associates. So in the Mahabharata, Arjuna and Bhima, they killed so many warriors. So Krishna also gave them mukti. Thus, he gave even Putana the status of his own nurse. But at what moment did the demons have any realization of the compassion Bhagavan Sri Krishna bestowed upon them? So Gurudev is saying it is true that Krishna gave so much mercy to Putana, to Dantavakra and everyone. But still they only realized his mercy after they were killed by him. At what moment did they realize it? It was only after their death, upon attaining a place at his lotus feet, that they realized it. Now Krishna, he cut the head of Agasura, and Agasura, what happened? His soul entered inside Krishna's feet. This was when he realized Krishna's mercy. So as long as they were alive, they had no experience of his mercy. They never realized how sweet Krishna was when they were alive. In fact, they hated him. They wanted to kill Krishna, these demons. They did not realize. Nor could any of their relatives, such as their sons and wives, realize that compassion or karuna, except Kali and his wives. Even these children of these demons, they were so angry at Krishna. Now, when this Kashi Raj was killed, then his son wanted to also do the same thing to Krishna. He wanted to harm him. So he also performed so many austerities, and he released one Rakshasi to destroy all of Dwaraka. And what happened? She couldn't do anything, then she came back and she destroyed all his kingdom. So it's even the relatives, they also wanted to harm Krishna, because they didn't realize. Up until their very last breath, these demons and their families were convinced that Krishna had treated them only with cruelty. Thinking Krishna is so cruel. But for these reasons, in all of Bhagavan's other incarnations, the unfolding of the sweetness of his karuna was incomplete. So Gurudev is saying that the full manifestation of Krishna's compassion could not be realized by these demons. On the other hand, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu never carried any type of weapon, nor did he ever take anyone's life. Rather, he purified the consciousness of all beings by giving them the holy name of the Lord. Sri God did not annihilate the demons themselves. Rather, he destroyed their demoniac disposition. This unique speciality is seen exclusively in this avatar. So here Gurudev is giving an example. For example, Jagai and Madhai, Chankasi, the blasphemous students in Navadvip, Prakashananda Saraswati, and all his disciples were inimical to the Vaishnavas, to Bhagavan, and they were severe offenders. Prakashananda Saraswati would say that Krishna does not even have a form. He would say Krishna is impotent. No, he does not even have a form. He is useless, he is saying in one way. And the blasphemous students now they wanted to beat Mahaprabhu. Chankasi wanted to do so many things. Jagai and Madhai did so many things. They hit Nityananda Prabhu. But still you see, when Mahaprabhu gave mercy to them, they realized that mercy in their very lifetime. In their very lifetime, they started weeping so much, they started rolling on the ground. They didn't have to give up their bodies. While they were still situated in their bodies, they realized this compassion. By the tender compassion of Mahaprabhu, they all became Mahabhagavad Vaishnavas in this very lifetime. They didn't have to wait to become Vaishnavas in the next lifetime. No. In this very lifetime, they became great devotees. So along with their respective wives, sons and disciples, in their very lifetime, they realized and relished the sweetness of his unprecedented compassion. Thus they were blessed and their lives became successful. So when Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to meet with his associates, he would inquire from them, how can all these jivas be delivered? He was thinking, how can all the animals, birds, grass, how can all the moving and non-moving entities be delivered? So then associates such as Nityananda Prabhu, Advaita Acharya and Haridas Thakur would say, through your Harinam Sankirtan, everyone will be delivered. You see, Mahaprabhu was so anxious not just to deliver the human beings. He was also anxious to deliver the insects, the birds, everyone. Mahaprabhu once even asked Haridas Thakur that the Muslims are so sinful, how can they be delivered? And Haridas Thakur said just by saying Haram, Haram, they are delivered. And then he would meet Nityananda Prabhu, Advaita Acharya at Shantipur, and he would discuss with them. Tell me, how can I deliver all these people? My heart is like weeping in separation from them. Because he's para dukkha dukhi, he cannot tolerate the suffering of others. So then they would say, oh Mahaprabhu, by a loud kirtan, everyone has already been delivered. Simply by being touched by air that has mingled with the sound of pure Nam, a person is certain to be delivered. You see here, even if the person is not chanting, still if he's just breathing the air where Harinam Sankirtan is going on, then he's benefited. Simply by breathing the air, even if he's not chanting. It is a fact that the unprecedented manner in which the Lord's Karuna unfolds is how? Through the propagation of loud Harinam Sankirtan. Nor do we see that any other incarnation possesses such an intense mood of eagerness to deliver the living entities as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu does. Even Krishna was not so eager to think how all the jivas can be delivered. In fact, Krishna at the end of Bhagavad Gita, he told Arjuna, only speak this Bhagavad Gita to those who are favorable to me. Don't speak this Gita, the instructions of the Gita, to those who are unfavorable to me. So even Krishna made a condition there. But Mahaprabhu, he was thinking how everyone can be delivered. Besides God Hari, no other form of Bhagavan personally taught the living entities of this world how to propagate and practice the precepts of pure devotional service. By his own life, Mahaprabhu has shown. It is stated in Chaitanya Charitamrita that Rasik Shekhar Krishna Parama Karun. That Krishna is Rasik Shekhar. And he is Parama Karun, means he relishes rasa, but he is also supremely merciful. When we reflect upon this, we can see that it is indeed true that Krishna is rasik and karun, compassionate. But as long as he has not accepted the mood and complexion of Srimati Radhika and appeared as Mahaprabhu, he can neither relish rust to the highest extent, nor can he be supremely merciful. So here Gurudev is saying, he can only be Rasik Shekhar, the king of all those who relish rasa, only if he has taken shelter of Srimati Radhika. And he can only be Parama Karun, means supremely compassionate, only if he has taken shelter of Srimati Radhika. Or else he can never be supremely compassionate. Therefore, he has accepted the mood and complexion of Radharani and appeared as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Only then he can relish rasa, and only then he can be supremely compassionate. This is because in his pastimes as Krishna, his three desires remained unfulfilled. It was only in his pastimes as Sri Gaur that he fulfilled and relished them and truly became Rasik Shekhar. So only when he appeared as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he could fulfill these three desires of his. So Sri Krishna stole butter and he stole the hearts of the gopis. But he could not steal Radharani's complexion, which are her very own nature. For this reason, Rai Ramananda says, I offer my obeisances again and again to that Krishna, who is resplendent with the luster and intrinsic mood of Radharani. So Krishna fell at the feet of Radharani. He said, kindly give me your mood, kindly give me your complexion. He begged for it. And then Radharani gave it to him. By granting liberation to the demons, Krishna relieved the burden of the earth. And thus he is Karun, merciful. Mahaprabhu, however, without the slightest hesitation, he distributed prem, which is difficult for Brahma himself to attain, even to offenders. For this reason, he is Parama Karun, supremely compassionate. This adjective is used, Parama. Just as Krishna, he is Karun, compassionate, Mahaprabhu is Parama Karun. So, there is yet another exceptional speciality of Mahaprabhu's Karuna. Krishna Prem will awaken in the heart of whoever utters the name of Gauranga. He who accepts the shelter of Gauranga will attain Rajendranandan, Krishna and his associates. One who will take shelter of Gaudamandal will attain eternal residence in Braj. Those who drown in the moods of transcendental moods of Gaura's love will float in the waves of Prem for Radha Madhav. So here you see, this is the speciality of Mahaprabhu's Leela, that if you worship Mahaprabhu in Dasya Bhav, in Shanta Bhav, then you will see him as Radha Madhav, as Radha and Krishna. Prem will awaken in that person who utters Mahaprabhu's holy names in this way. So this way Gurudev has given such beautiful specialities of Mahaprabhu's contribution to this world. And then he has spoken, what is Mahaprabhu's most sacred gift? This Parakya Bhav, the mood of the gopis. So this is the essence of what Mahaprabhu has come to give. So if you truly want to take shelter of Mahaprabhu, then we have to follow in the footsteps of the gopis. Therefore this was composed by Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur. Aradhya Bhagavan Rajesha Tanayastam Dharma Vrindavana Amna Kachid Upasana Rajavadu Vargena Kalpita Srimad Bhagavatam Pramanam Amalam Prema Pumartamahan Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Matadam Tattadharana Para. Means the essence of Mahaprabhu's instructions is just as Krishna is worshipable, his Dham, Vrindavan Dham is worshipable. And the best mode of worship of Krishna is what? As shown by the gopis. And what is the evidence for this? Pramanam Amalam, it is the Bhagavatam itself. And this Parakya Bhav, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to give to the entire world. So, by taking shelter of the associates of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and of his devotees, then we can hope to have this most sacred gift that he has come to give. And then realize how his incarnation is even more special than the incarnation of Krishna himself in this world. So we'll stop here, falling at the feet of Mahaprabhu and his devotees, and admitting whatever faults we have, we can only pray that we can be corrected and rectified from these faults and be purified and progress gradually in this path of Krishna Bhakti. Shri Sachinandan Aur Hari Ki Jai, Tadya Parikar Vinda Ki Jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vinda Ki Jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari, Ancha Kalpataru Pesha Kripasri Vincha Padithanam Vaishnava.